What's up, y'all? It's KKK and that's on period. We back with episode 2 of Angels and Demons, the podcast. And today's episode is about choices. People make a whole bunch of choices every day, not even understanding that the choice that they're making today is going to affect them tomorrow. People make a choice right now that's trying to fulfill certain things and give you this temporary fulfillment for a void that you have inside of you, like you lonely, so you finna go sleep with this person. The next day you could end up with AIDS. The next day you could end up pregnant. The next day you could end up... All these things, everything is connected. Think of life as a drive. So if you're driving, you're driving. Every single choice that you make is going to be like left or right. Wherever you go is going to have its own problems, its own things you got to deal with, its own consequences and or rewards. You get what I'm saying? So pay attention. There is no gray area. There will never be a gray area. Just like when you're driving and you have to go left or right. It's not, can I go a little bit right or can I go a little bit left? No. If you're trying to get to a destination, you're either going to take a shortcut or you're going to go to where you're supposed to go. Or you're not going to get to the destination. Choices are black and white. And a lot of the times we like to, well, maybe if I sit there and make excuses for ourselves, which is so well to me, but I'm not going to sit here and act like a mistake because I have done it too. And in some cases, I still do it. And that's the scariest thing. Like, I don't even think people my age really understand it, even older than me. Every single choice that we make not only affects us in the trajectory of our life, but it's going to affect our kids and the rest of our bloodline as well. And that's deep, and it's really annoying to think about. It's annoying to think about because you got a lot of weight on your shoulders. And a lot of people don't want that. Whether you have kids or not, you have to, like, really be careful. I'm just saying, don't shoot the messenger. And this day and age is so crazy because it's like back in the day, in order to make the right decision, people didn't have as many options as we have now, which is why it's a little bit harder for us to stay on the right path because there's so many choices. Like, it's so many choices. So then you have, like, let's say God's will for your life is to be married. If God's will for your life is to be married and what he wants you to do is to work on yourself right now so that you can stay in that marriage forever and not get no divorce and all that other stuff. Right now he wants you to work on yourself so that you're not cheating, so that you're not super argumentative. The enemy is going to flood you with distractions, okay? Whether it be social media, clubs, Tinder, your ex might hit you up, text you, hey, you still trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many options available, which is why I feel like this generation is going downhill. It's wiping out. Like, I'm not, look, we could change that, but it starts with making the choice to change it. Like, it's not very common that people make choices that is to better their life. A lot of people nowadays make choices that is temporary and that fulfills them temporarily. And that's very common. Like, very common. It's people who know they have a drug test coming up, but they'll smoke and try to still pee from a little baby. You got a drug test a month from now. It's okay, I'm finna smoke because my little brother, my little sister, my baby. And that's a choice that you made. Like, what's so wrong about being sober for a little bit until you gotta take your test? Like, what is keeping you? This is the thing. The reason why I stopped smoking is because it got to the point to where I would be sitting at work thinking about a blunt. I'll go home, I'll break and smoke it. Then I'll be like, I don't even feel like going back to work. Then if I'm out eating, the only thing that I'm thinking about is a blunt. Like, I just want to go back to the house and smoke this weed. It becomes an idol, whether you believe it or not. When I deal with something or if I'm in pain, the first thing I do is go to a blunt. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with drinking. It's the same thing with sex a lot of the times. It's the same things with all of this stuff that we do that we're not really supposed to do technically. It starts with a choice of using it for something, using it to feel something. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, it becomes an idol because that's what God's for, right? So you're saying God can't heal you? Or are you saying you don't know how to pray and have the faith for him to heal you? Are you saying that God can't fix the situation that has you stressed out, so you're going to hit a blunt or smoke weed, and that's why you constantly have to do it. Like, eventually the reasons run out and it just becomes an idol. So with me quitting, I had to make a choice. Like, I literally, every single time that I wanted to smoke, I had to make a choice to say, nah, I'm good. Like, no, I'm not gonna do it. And it wasn't easy, but God actually does say that in our weakness, He is the strongest. And I can attest to that because He's the only reason that I actually stopped. I remember one time I asked Him to take the weed from away from me, like, just get me right, God, just get me right. And He said, it's not for me to take away, it's for you to stop. He'll give you the will if you ask for it. It's like when it was in front of my face, I wasn't asking for it. I was just like, ooh, yay. So if you're making that choice, He's not nobody that's forceful that's gonna be like, no, like, ugh. I had to really be like, okay, God, in this moment, you have to be honest with yourself. Like, I want to smoke. Like, I want to smoke right now. Like, can you take the urge away from me, God? Give me comfort. Whatever I need to smoke for, Heavenly Father, fix it. And if you say that and you actually believe it, you're going to be good. You're going to be straight. And this is facts. Like, this is not nothing. It's facts. Trust me, because firsthand, I'm telling you. But yeah, it's not, I'm not saying it's easy. But if you involve God in those choices, the gray area that we try to create becomes black or white. If you're having a problem with something that you're trying to work on to better yourself, it's never a question. God's going to do it. But you have to give Him the space in the room and make the choice to want Him to do it. I had to really accept the fact that I was a piehead. Like, I had to want God more than I wanted that blunt. Like, it's facts. And you have to really come to terms with that. It's just facts. When you say you want something for yourself, if you want to stop smoking, if you want to stop drinking, if you want to stop having sex, if you want to make the right choices so you can get to your purpose without being further delayed, or get to everything that God has for you without everything keep falling out of your hands because you keep making the wrong decisions. If that's what you want, you have to include God in the gray area. So when you get to that left or the right, you have to ask Him to come in and help guide you. Like, there's no other way around it. Baby, you have to include God. There's no way. There's no way. Like, y'all, we wouldn't need God if we knew everything. I'm telling you, if we knew what was best for us, if we knew what was best for us, humans would have no flaws, no wars, no nothing, because we know what's best for us. Every family staying together, nobody getting their heart broke. If we knew what was best for us, y'all, how straight would we be? Like, be real. You have to include Him, and He makes the gray area black or white. He'll let you know what to do, and He'll let you know what not to do. And it sounds so, dang, y'all, it sounds so cliche. It's crazy because, like, I feel like the world has made it so that everything that sounds good for you, it sounds boring or like cliche, so you don't even want to listen to apply it. Like, your brain just automatically turns off. But I literally pray that y'all have the ears to hear, because like this is stuff that I've seen. Like, not nothing I sat down and somebody taught me and downloaded it to me, which sometimes I wish I had, because then my life wouldn't have been so hard. But this is stuff that I've learned, y'all. Like, and I'm 28 years old. Like, I'm kicking y'all the realest stuff. I tell people all the time, it's not advice. These are cheat codes. Every single thing you do is going to affect you later. If you wake up and you decide to get some ice cream, but you got to go out later, you might be a little bloated when you go out, but that's because you chose to eat the ice cream, y'all. Like, if you go outside and you know you need to get gas, but you choose to not get gas, your car might be on the side of the, you get what I'm saying? Like, if you choose to not set your alarm, you might be late and you might lose your, like, do you get what I'm saying? Every single action has a reaction, and everything that happens to you is going to affect your bloodline. And every other culture except for the African American community, I feel like, really understands that everything that you do is affecting your bloodline too. White people be having their stuff set up. White people be having it set up for their kids. Like, and black people are just now starting to do it too. I be seeing people, like, I got little KKD LLC businesses and stuff, and I'm seeing it and I respect it. But do you get what I'm saying? Every single thing that you do is affecting your bloodline. You have to take accountability, and that should help you in your choices. That should make you want to seek God. I think I said it before, but I'm gonna say it again. In our weakness, he is the strongest. In our weakness, he is the strongest. God will always move on your behalf, especially if you ask him, God, tell me what to do. Tell me which way to go. God, if this is not for me, don't allow it to happen. God, if I'm not supposed to go outside with him, make him not call me back. But you have to really mean it to say it. Because if you just really want to go, we have free will. You're going to figure out a way to go. But if you really, really, really trust God and shorty don't call you back, it's going to be like, okay, Abba, I hear you. Like, okay, God, I hear you. Like, for real, like, ask him and he'll do it. That's just how I go. Glory be to God on that. And that's facts. Because he done stopped a lot of people from hitting me back. Because, you know, I used to be outside. I used to be outside, y'all. Like, but that's a story for another time. Yeah. But, yeah. Watch what you say. Because that has a lot to do with your choices, too. Man, watch what comes out of your mouth. The reason why I say watch what you say is because when I was in high school, I had figured something out. Like, I think I was probably like in the 10th grade. And I was sitting in my room. And I was like, every single time that I say something crazy, like, I want this boy so bad or something like that, I always end up going crazy for the dude or end up in a situation where somebody's doing me dirty and I'm sad about it. Like, I'm going out bad. And I noticed that. Like, I wasn't super spiritual. I wasn't, like, really with the spirits, the demons, angels, demons, all this other stuff. I wasn't, no. I was a kid and I just wanted to, you know, have fun. But at the same time, I was realizing certain things. Like, every single time I let this come out my mouth, I let it come out my mouth, I go out bad. And I realized it. And I think even one time I did it just to see if it would work, and it worked, and I went out bad, and I always made sure that I remembered that and applied it ever since then. It works. Like, if you go through a breakup and you are like sad, it's okay to be sad. But in your weakest, ask God to be your strength. He will be your strength. It's power that you have, but you have to use it. I miss him. I need him. I want him. Oh, I just feel like we're just supposed to be together. Like, really? Because if y'all was supposed to be together and that's what God had for you, there will be no anxiety. There will be no confusion. There will be no... It would have nothing but the fruits of the Spirit involved in it. But it's like we don't know that. But I'm here to tell you that. So... let it sink in. Let it sink in. I'm just here to let y'all know from experience, most of the temporary fulfillment stuff and stuff that you know is not for you is just going to delay your process. And you're making the choice to allow it to. And God makes the gray area black or white. It's not going to remain gray. The only thing that makes it gray is us. When we be like, well, I know I should do this, but maybe. That's called gray area. That's called fluff. That's called BS. I'm sorry, Abba, but you know what I'm talking about. Like, if we're talking about spiritual and you have a spirit on you that is overly sexual, if you have a spirit of addiction on you and you can't stop smoking or you can't stop drinking, it's because you, at one point, came into agreement with these spirits. The way that a demon work is, start with, yeah, you know you want a blunt. You know you want a blunt, right? That's how it starts. Like, just a little whisper in your ear. And the way that the enemy will be able to move in your life is when you come into agreement with that thought. And this is why Abba says, cast down imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. And this is 2 Corinthians 10:5. That basically just means that every thought that you get, if you want better for yourself, you're going to make it obey God. Like, you know you want a blunt, right? God said that I need to be sober-minded because the enemy is out to steal, kill, and destroy, which he's trying to do right now in my mind. So actually, I'm good. In Jesus' name, amen. That's taking that thought, throwing it in the trash. That's basically taking the enemy and just like kind of mollywopping him like, you got me messed up. But that's how it always starts. It starts with a little whisper like, you know you want to drink. Like, you know you want to call him. Like, you know you want to, ooh. That's even how depression starts, y'all. But the way to get rid of all that is to stop it when it happens. Because when the enemy or the demons or whatever is whispering that thought in your ear, by you adopting that thought and saying, well, maybe I do want and need him. Then as soon as you adopt it, the devil has legal rights to, do his thing. And that's how it works. And once he has legal rights, the only way that you can get that spirit out and away from you is to denounce the lie that the spirit told you and make the choice to trust God instead. You don't need a blunt because God can give you everything that you need. You don't need a man because God can give you everything that you need. That's where the fruits of the spirit start to come in. Like, you're going to have peace. You're going to have these things because you're making the right choices. Making the wrong choices is taking away your peace, taking away your joy, taking away all these things from you. And we're not even realizing how much it's actually taken away from us because we just want to feel good in the moment, y'all. Listen to me. Doing better with your life, having something to pass down to your kids and their kids, get into your destiny and your purpose as fast as you can is the way to attain peace. It's the way to be fully happy, to have real joy. Just trust him. I tried to deliver somebody one time, y'all, and you know what God told me? Afterwards, they were just looking at me like this. And I was like, praying. I was praying and I was worshiping, and I heard God say so smoothly and so sweetly, he said, it's for them to let go. It's for them to let go. And at first, I didn't really know what that meant until I saw a video on deliverance where it said that if it's a spirit that they've come into agreement with, they have to want to let it go. But part of the reason people wouldn't want to let something go, like Jezebel, the spirit of narcissism, things like that, some people may feel like getting over on people is a better way to live their life, and that's the lie that the enemy told them, and that's how their life has gone the way it has. So it's harder for them to let go of those thoughts, that mindset. All that stuff is hard for them to let it go because they don't know what's going to happen. They don't know what comes after that because that's what worked for them. They got mistreated in their past as a child, and that's how they cope. That's how they got people to love them, being a narcissist or tricking them into certain things. Like, you get what I'm saying? So it'd be harder for people like that to let those spirits go because they really believe those lies that the enemy told them. But they're lies at the end of the day. And the one thing that I know for a fact is that every narcissist that I know has no peace, has no joy, has no love, real love. But the enemy has lied to them and let them, feel like that manipulation in the time that they're doing to people, and that feeling of warmth that they get from people like, wait, is love. And that's not love. That's called Stockholm Syndrome. No cap, though. Like, that's all that is. But yeah, deliverance starts with a choice. If you actually want to better yourself, if you actually want a husband, if you actually want a successful bloodline, speak that in every situation. Even when you start to get sad, speak joy, call on God. Do the opposite of how you feel when you're feeling anything negative. Do the opposite, please. But that's a choice. You get what I'm saying? But it makes so much of a difference. It makes so much of a difference, y'all. I am a witness. Like, it's gonna be one day I'm gonna come on here and just tell y'all everything, all the stuff that ever happened to me, because my life has been wild, and I'm gonna tell y'all my testimony very, very, very soon. But just trust God, trust him, man. A smart person has information, a wise person applies it. That's episode 2 of Angels and Demons, the podcast on choices and things that be sounding so cliche but make such a big difference in your life and the life of the people that come after you. Y'all stay tapped in, stay prayed up. I want you to live life to your fullest. I want you to get everything you deserve and everything that God has for you. But we have free will, so I'm here to help you realize, it's not always easy to make the right choices, but it's always the most fulfilling in the end. So God bless you. I pray healing, happiness, joy, love, peace, self-control, everything that you need onto you. Just stay tuned. Like, comment, and subscribe if this is on YouTube. And if it's not on YouTube, just make sure you stay tapped in with the podcast. Anyway, y'all, love you. Make good choices. Peace out.